Good afternoon to everyone. This is Saravanan. So now I would like to present you about the machine learning technique. So I hope you uh, is an excellent concept now. It is a play a major role. It is going in a very good in the current trend in various industrial activities. So machine learning is a subdomain of an artificial intelligence. So this should be having a lot of usages in connect with the neural network concepts. Okay, this should be most helpful for solving a lot of problems and finding solution for so many problems. So I would like to share you now. So yeah, yeah. So the machine learning. So machine learning is a science to teach the machine to make and act like a human expert in the domain is called machine learning. So we have to make a expert system based on the domain, based on a particular domain that should be act like an human expert by the way it going to answer for the users questions. Once upon a time, only the companies had the data. The data were stored and processed using the computer center itself. But arrival of personal computer and later the widespread of use of the wireless communication, we all is going to become like the producer of the data. So according to this, there are so many data are going to collected and stored in the repository, and that data are useful for a lot of purposes. So that is most helpful for solving so many problems or finding solutions for so many problems. Some way to produce the data are by a product through the online, selling goods through the online, details of transaction, customers feedback, customer best matching, and chatting through the social media. This is not only the end of the data producers, please, and there are so many are available. Generally, the data is having two things internally. One is the futures and another one is the label. The features are attribute of the items, and it is like a bedrooms, areas, and etc. Like, and this should be identified with a variable like a x, that is x1, x2, x3, etc. to xn. And the labels are it's like a price of the house or some value which we are assigned to on something. So this should be identified by using the um, variables like y1, y2, etc. to xn. So these features are act like an input values and these labels are act like an outputs like. So generally this before going to talk about the input and outputs, features are generally identified by using x and labels are generally identified by using the y value. So the data should be having a pair of a set or pair of uh, values. It's like a x and y, and it's called like or it's identified like xi comma yi, where I is equal to 1 etc. to the n. So the labels are like a present label or absent labels. When we are having a present label, in these situations, we have to using a supervised learning algorithms for solving some of the problems or doing some of the activities. Suppose the labels are not available or it is not present. So that situation we have to use unsupervised learning or unsupervised learning algorithms for have doing of some of the activities. And this labels is also available like a continuous labels or discrete labels. We have a continuous labels means we have to use the regressions as the calculations or a technique for our process. Suppose we are having a discrete values means we are going to use the classification for our process. So for an regressions, we have to have an data like a price, some values like, and we are having a discrete values. That is, when we go for a classification process, we are having the details like a handwritten. So the features are available like a numeric features or a categorical features. Suppose we are having a numerical features means it is like an the number of bedrooms, number of halls. It's like, suppose we are having a categorical means the number of city, color, something, etc. There are so many applicational areas are available in the machine learnings, and this is not only the end. There are so many areas are available, so many domains are available. So one in the above is the retail business, manufacturing factories, telecommunications, science, world wide web, and face recognitions, text recognitions, etc. So all these are going to using the machine learning technique for finding the solutions. Machine learning is the programming computer to optimize a performance criterion using the example data and past experience. So we have to collect data from various sources, or it's called like an past experience, so that we are going to use it to do or solve a lot of problems. So the machine learning technique using the statistics in building the mathematical models, because the core task of machine learning is making inference from a sample. The role of computer science in machine learning is twofold. One is training and another one is the testing. Training is the need efficient algorithm to solve the optimization problem as well as store and process massive amount of data. So the another instance testing. So the once model is learned, its representation and algorithm solutions for inference need to be efficient. That is, space and time complexity is get reduced. There are so many applications are available. So in association with the learning, retail basket analysis is coming, and in association with the classification, there are banking, pattern recognition, character recognition, medical diagnosis, facial recognition, speech recognition, and biometrics and knowledge extractions are play as an application of this particular machine learning technique. So I hope you know well that retail activities, there are so many basket analysis are available. It's like the customers are going to buy various their products in association with some other important products. So it's like when they are going to buying a milk, connection with the milk, they have to buy the sugar or tea, tea packets, tea powder packets. So many things they are going to join with the milk they are trying to buy. So it's like an association activity. So that should be is coming under the retail process. So this is actually is called like an basket analysis technique. So there, as we have to use this machine learning concepts to understand about the customers, and we have to keep their relations long life. So in like in the classification activities, so banking sector side or a pattern recognition side or character recognition side, we are going to use the machine learning technique for solving a lot of problems. See, for example, that biometrics, we are most of the case nowadays they are going to use all the organization sector side for an attendance process. So when the peoples are coming to put their biometrics in the machine, it's going to fetch the currently available patterns, and it should be combined with the already available patterns. Both are matched, then it's going to put an attendance. Unless otherwise, it's not going to put attendance, and it's going to identify it's not matched or it's not recognized. He is in somebody else, like it's going to identify. So according to the regression process, the system, it want to predict the price of the user car. To surveying the past transaction, we can collect the training data, and the machine learning program it fits the function to this data to learn y as the function of x. That is, y is equal to wx plus w0. Here, y is the number in regression and y is class code. If it is case, you have to take in as classifications. So sometimes this y, that is the outcome, is like a number. So sometimes it is like an um, categories. Machine learning program optimize the parameters, that is, approximation error is minimized and the exact output value is close as possible to training the set. There are so many machine learning techniques are available here. Those techniques are most probably useful for us. That should be chosen and used for according to the project, that is according to the application which we are going to implement. So there are techniques are called like an supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning, and semi-supervised learning like. So supervised learning means it get the output using the past experience. We are going to collect the data from various sources and going to pre-process it and keep in the repository. When we are doing the operations, we are having an input and output like, so we just have to do and comparisons. The presently observed data should be compared with an pastly available output. So both are in match, so it given a proper result, and unless otherwise in going to intimate it's not matched or he is not the right fellow like. So this is what the process like is doing of operations using past experience. So unsupervised learning, there are no informations, there are no past experience, so it's happened based on the current data. So no labeled data and no past experience. This should be happening according to the current situations. So next one is the reinforcement learning. Output of the system is the sequence of actions. So here the action is going to happening based on the environment of the problems. So what it going to observe from the problem environment, accordingly it going to do the actions. See, for example, there is an automated car, it going in the way, it going to detect some object in front of it, it how it going to put the brake. So there is an turn in the way, it going to it get turn the car. So what is available in the problem environment, according to that it going to do the actions. So this is what the reinforcement learning activity. So the semi-supervised learning technique, it's not like an supervised, not like an unsupervised. It awfully supervised, it awfully unsupervised like a, it should be having an labels, it should be having some past experience, but it not having a complete useful data, that is a complete fast experience. It's having some like, so that should be helpful for doing of and process. So there are some limited amount of past and labeled data are available here that should be helpful for doing or completing the process. So I hope you understand this concepts of machine learning technique. So thank you. So I hope you understand this.